villagers of that strange village are seen hanging the girl upside down from a tree and then slitting her throat in one fell swoop. These villagers need the girl's skin. They will make something from the girl's skin. That night, the girl who came to this village made the biggest mistake of her life. In this village, whenever a child is born, they drown it in water. What happened in this village 20 years ago? The mystery and twists of this village will make your head spin. A cursed village in Empatigo. Late at night, this girl named Maya is seen. She was on duty at night. She works as a collector at a toll booth. To pass the time at work, she used to talk to her friend named Danny on the phone at night. Danny also worked at another toll booth. It was 3 in the morning. This time is considered the most unlucky time of the night. A car stopped in front of Maya. Maya had seen this car many times before. A man inside the car looked at her strangely and asked, "What is your name? Rahayu?" Maya got angry and said, "My name is Maya. Why do you care?" The man asked him again in a cold voice, "Do you live in Harjosari village? And is your father's name Don Wangsu?" Although Maya didn't answer, she could tell that the man knew a lot about her. The man somehow got into his car, and in a moment, the man was seen running towards Maya with a weapon in his hand. Maya panicked and tried to run away. Unfortunately, the man caught her. The man tried to cut Maya's leg with the sword and raised his sword and shouted, "We don't want the curse left by your family to come upon us." Just then, the police arrived and shot the man dead. In fact, when Maya was 5 years old, she lost her parents and was taken care of by a woman. She remembered that when she was very young, that woman used to call Maya by the name that the man had taken that day, Rahayu. But as she grew up a little, woman stopped calling her Rahayu. She started calling her Maya. While searching for the belongings of the woman who had raised her since childhood, Maya found a picture of her when she was a child. In the picture, Maya is standing with her parents, and a huge house is seen in the background. The name of the village was written on the back of the photo, and the name Rahayu was written. Maya was surprised to see the photo. Maya kept thinking to herself that if the big house in the photo belonged to her parents, then that house should now be Maya's inheritance, because her parents are not alive. She decided to go back to that village and sell this house. After a while, when Maya went to the bathroom, she suddenly saw something strange. A piece of paper came out from the place where her leg was cut, and on that paper there was something, mantra, written in another language. Maya, unable to understand that language, took a picture of the paper and threw it away. She came out of the bathroom and saw some strange people standing there wearing black sheets. The next day, Maya and Denny left for the village by bus. On the way, Maya showed that picture to a language teacher, the paper with that mantra. How scared, the teacher said. "This mantra is written in Old Japanese. It was written by some black power or some black magic. This mantra keeps people away from their souls." While going to the village, Maya sees a strange thing. 3 little girls are standing in the forest in the middle of the night. But surprisingly, Maya tries to show this scene to Danny, but Danny cannot see this scene. The next morning, they reach the village with the help of a pusher. The pusher says in a strange voice, "You know, there are very few people in this village. If you ever get into any trouble, call me." Maya and Danny go to the village headman's house. The headman of the village is an extraordinary puppeteer, that is, a puppet dancer. His name is Saptadi. Saptadi's mother, Misni, comes out of the house. Maya say, "I have come to learn puppet dancing from Saptadi." But since Saptadi is not at home, Maya and Danny come to their ancestral house and rest, the house they saw in the picture. Although the house is so huge and beautiful, it has been empty for many years. No one dares to stay here alone. The house itself has been carrying a mystery for years. After sunset, the darkness of the night falls. Maya keeps looking at many pictures of her parents kept in the house. But surprisingly, there is not a single picture of Maya in this house. Just then, some noises are heard outside. It is seen that someone in the village has died. He is being taken to be buried. After the villagers bury the body and leave, Maya and Danny go there and start looking for Maya's parents. But they are surprised when they see that there are so many babies buried there. The babies who have not lived more than 2 days. Have so many newborn babies died in this village? While leaving the cemetery, they see that Maya's father's name has been covered in one place. Danny tells Maya that maybe your father's relationship with the villagers was not good. The night gets deeper. The 2 of them rest together in that big house. In the middle of the night, Maya is suddenly woken up by some noise. A sound was coming from the house next door. What is happening inside that house? It was terrifying. A mother gave birth to a newborn baby, yet the whole family was disappointed to see the baby. A terrifying scene was seen. The village head, Saptadi, silently drowning the baby in water. At the end of the night, Maya and Denny were surprised to see the villagers carrying a dead body to the cemetery again. They were surprised. One had died last night and another had died in the morning. Then the two of them reached the cemetery while chasing the villagers. The villagers were looking at them strangely. When Maya and Denny started to leave, Saptati stopped them and said, "I have not seen you in this village before." The two of them introduced themselves as students, and hearing this, Saptati invited them to her house to talk. Maya asked Denny to go home and went to the market to get some food. When she asked a shopkeeper there about their house, the shopkeeper made a face and said, "Why has this house been abandoned?" "Because a terrible curse had once spread from this house to our village." The shopkeeper's name was Rati. Denny was alone in the house. Suddenly, two villagers came to meet her and said that this house is very old. It is not for you. You should find another place. Denny heard from them that the village head Saptati had all the documents of this house, and Saptati was waiting for a girl named Rahayu. If Saptati could give the documents of the house to Rahayu, he would be relieved of a duty. Denny suddenly lied. She said that my name is Rahayu. She lied because Maya was in the market at that time, and Denny wanted to take Maya back from there as soon as possible with the documents. Hearing this, the villagers immediately rushed to take Denny to Saptati. Denny went out alone with them, and on their way they reached the middle of jungle. Denny's phone had no network. Denny got scared and said, "Now or else stay. I will bring my friend later." But the villagers do not listen to her. They keep forcing her again and again. Danny clearly understands that the villagers have no good intentions towards her. Without thinking, she suddenly starts running away into the forest, but she is caught by the villagers. Danny starts crying. A villager hits her on the head and makes her unconscious. After regaining consciousness, he keeps crying. It is seen that the villagers have hung Danny upside down in an empty place. He says, "What have I done wrong to you? Why are you doing this to me?" Saptati and his mother Misni reach there. Misni was very angry. Misni goes straight to Danny and cuts her throat, and then cuts Danny's skin and makes a doll out of it to play with. On the other hand, the real Rahayu starts looking for her friend Danny in the whole village. She even asks Saptati for help, but Saptati pretends not to know anything. Maya returns home and gets very worried. A girl Rati calls her and says that a pregnant woman is about to give birth to a child. Maya sneaks through a gap in a house and sees that a woman has just given birth to a child. But the child is horrible. She has no skin on her body. The child's father cries, and Saptati drowns the child in water. Saptati gets very worried, thought that finally, after all this time, a curse will end. But who is this curse? Maya did not understand anything. Seeing all this, Maya gets very scared and makes a noise in panic. The people inside the house hurry out and see Rati standing there. Actually, Rati helped Maya hide. Rati means that shopkeeper. When the villagers leave, Rati brings Maya to her house and says, "Don't you know that this entire village is cursed? No children are born here, so you will not see any new children in the village." Hearing this, Maya is surprised and says, "There were 3 children I saw," Rati says, "but it is not possible, because no children have been born here for the last 20 years. Those who were born were killed." Rati also said that Maya's grandfather was a big man in the village. He lived with his family in the big house, where Maya had been staying for some time. After his death, his son Dongsu became the head of the village, and Saptati's mother was just a servant in Dongsu's house. Dongsu was an extraordinary puppeteer. He married the most beautiful girl in the village, whose name was Sinda. For many years, his wife Sinda could not give birth to any child. Finally, after 5 years, she gave birth to a child. But the strange thing was that no one in this village knew what that child looked like. No skin on her body, and she had a terrible appearance. And since then, the 3 girls in this village suddenly disappeared. One day, the villagers suddenly saw Dongsu with his daughter. The girl was healthy and normal, but why had she not been seen for so long? Why had Dongsu hidden his daughter? The villagers started discussing this. Saptati spread the news throughout the village that Dongsu's daughter was suffering from a terrible disease and Dongsu was doing black magic to cure her. And because of this black magic, the girls from the village were disappearing. That day, Dongsu suddenly killed many people like a madman while playing with dolls, and then slit his own throat with a sword. He committed suicide at the gate and killed his wife Cynthia too. All that was left was Dongsu's baby girl. A servant of Dongsu's house ran her away from the village and went to the city, and that baby girl was named Rahayu, and later that girl was known as Maya, and since then a curse descended on the village. Every child was born without skin, and Saptati used to kill those skinless girls so that they would not suffer. Then Saptati announced that Rahayu was the first victim of the terrible disease. Her skin had to be cut off and a doll made. Only then would the curse of this village end. And that is why, when Denny introduced himself as Rahayu, her skin was cut off and a doll made, but the curse did not end because it was Denny, not Rahayu. While Maya was talking, she suddenly saw a picture and was shocked because this man in the picture was the one who was trying to kill her at the beginning of the story. Maya then asked Roddy who the man was. Roddy says, "This is my husband," and also tells that Roddy herself is pregnant. Roddy says, "My husband has gone to the city to find a way to end this curse." Maya trembles with fear after hearing this because she knew that Roddy's husband is no longer alive. Roddy also says, "My grandmother was a sorcerer. Once this curse spreads, it cannot be completely broken. Only the type of that curse changes." And that was the reason that Roddy was not harming Maya, even after recognizing Maya. On the other hand, the villagers realize that they had mistaken the wrong girl for a Rahayu, and they all start looking for the real Rahayu that is Maya. Maya starts crying a lot after knowing the death of her friend Denny, and starts blaming herself because she came for the big house of this village. Maya thinks in an instant that she will not waste another moment in this village. Without wasting time, she tries to escape from the village and calls the pusher, who said to call me if needed. After receiving Maya's call, the pusher quickly brought the police to the village. Maya saw from a distance that the villagers had surrounded the pusher, and surprisingly, the police were also among the villagers. When the police asked for the phone from the driver refused to give it to him, and in anger and killed the driver on the spot. Maya was devastated because the driver had died while trying to help her. Maya quickly thought of throwing her phone in another part of the forest so that the villagers would hear the phone ringing and go looking for her in the wrong direction, and Maya could escape this way. At this time, Maya told Roddy the real story of her husband's death, and Roddy was completely devastated because there was no one else in her life. Maya repeatedly apologized to her, but Maya's time was running out, so she tried to escape. While escaping, Maya found a car in the forest, and she took the help of the driver. But the driver suddenly saw a terrible sight. The soul of a little girl was tearing her skin off her body. Seeing this scene, the driver was scared and crashed into a tree, and Maya fell down due to the impact. In the moment, Maya saw the souls of the 3 little girls who had disappeared standing in front of her eyes, and then the real history of her family flashed before her eyes. Maya saw that her father's Dongsu and mother Cynthia was getting married. Cynthia actually loved Saptati, and even after marriage, Cynthia had physical relations with Saptati. A few days later, Cynthia became pregnant, meaning that Maya was actually Saptati's daughter, not Dongsu's daughter. But Saptati's mother, Misni, found out about this incident, plucked some hair from Cinda and Dongsu's heads, and performed black magic. Saptati suddenly forgot Cinda, and the child in Cinda's womb was born cursed. In fact, Misni loved her son Saptati in a different way, not like a mother, which is a love that is socially forbidden. She always tried to keep Saptati under her control. Even though Cinda finally gave birth to a child, the child had no skin on its body. Dongsu did not know that his child was not his own, but Saptati's. Seeing the child's poor condition, Dongsu was distressed and killed 3 village girls for black magic and sacrificed them under his house and made dolls out of their skins and played with them. Then Dongsu's child, Maya, was born healthy and normal. Dongsu buried the body without the skin underground. However, since then, Maya could see the souls of the 3 girls and also suffered pain in her own body. So to protect her, Dongsu wrote a spell in Old Japanese and inserted it into the skin of Maya's foot. That is why that paper came out of Maya's foot that day. And since taking out that paper, Maya could see the souls of the 3 girls again and again, just like she used to see when she was a child. Anyway, one day, Dongsu was preparing to hold a puppet show. Just then, some villagers attacked him. The attack was actually done by Saptati. He covered his face and sat in Dongsu's place. He kills all of Dongsu's group, including his wife Sintha, to revenge the 3 little girls in the village. And finally, he kills Dongsu by slitting his throat with a sword, and he takes all his dolls with him. And Misni is the servant who takes Maya to the city and leaves Maya in the care of another woman. The whole terrible story is shown to Maya as a dream by the spirits of the 3 children, and they tell Maya to bury our bones and skin together under the ground. Only then will the curse end. Maya regains consciousness. Roddy comes again and helps her escape and meets the man who was once allowed to live, even after being born without skin. He lived in the forest. Seeing his terrible condition, Maya is deeply hurt, and she promises that as long as I have life in my body, I will try to free this village from the curse. Together they bring dolls made of the skin of the 3 children of Dongsu from Saptati's house. Then they find a grave in Maya's ancestral house and dig the ground and take out the bones there. Since the bones and dolls, that is the dolls, were made of skin, they bury the bones and skin together. Finally, after so long, the souls of the 3 girls find peace. Then Maya waits. She wants to be sure whether the curse of this village has really ended or is still there. Within a short while, Misni and the villagers reached the spot and caught Maya. They all knocked her unconscious and hung her upside down, just like they had hung her friend, so that Maya's skin could be cut off. After Maya regained consciousness, she saw Saptati and said, "I am your child. You are my father. You are killing me as a father. And this curse was not for anyone else, but for your mother." Hearing these true words, Saptati was also shocked and looked at her mother and asked, "Is what she is saying true?" Misni got very angry and threatened to kill her own throat. "You decide now. Will you kill Rahayu, or will you watch your mother die?" Saptati was in doubt. Just then Rati ran and showed her the newborn child in her arms. This child is healthy and has skin on its body. Seeing this scene, Saptati completely broke down with guilt. She grabbed her mother's hand and cut his own throat with a sword. Seeing Saptati dying like this, Misni could not remain still. She also committed suicide. Then Rati declared Maya free, and for the first time in 20 years, a healthy child was born in the village of Harjosari. The villagers released Maya. Maya left the village forever. A year later, a pregnant woman was seen in the village of Harjosari. She was very happy, but one day looking in the bathroom mirror, she suddenly saw Misni's spirit coming behind her. She screamed in horror. Her husband ran and saw that there was no more child in his wife's stomach. There was only blood and blood all around. It is seen that the spirit of Misni has pulled the child out of the womb and is swallowing the pieces of meat. And the story ends here. One question remains. Maya had ended the curse. So why did the spirit of Misni take away the child from its mother? Actually, Rati's grandmother said that this curse is so terrible that it will never end in the village. If that curse is tried to end, then the curse will appear in another way. So the curse of giving birth to a child without skin has ended. But it has appeared in a new way. The spirit of Misni starts causing harm in the village.